Shalom, guys. It's your girl Jetty, Empress Jetty, the Razzle Rouser. Y'all be glorified, magnified, and praised. May speak truth up in here on today. Going to hit you with another little something to chew on. Um, okay. Please do not waste your time, arguing with me over the validity of this subject I'm going to bring up. If you disagree with my position, I will kindly delete you because I will not allow for the promotion of certain stuff up in here. Okay, so talking to the chosen who done got themselves a revelation. If you haven't gotten this revelation that we're going to speak on, catch us in class next time or something. Okay, so dig it, y'all. Why was it so significant for Paul's doctrine to have been a doctrine of respectability politics, obedience to authority regardless of legitimacy of the authority, right? Just blind obedience to authority, disempowerment of women, and non-violence and tolerance, right? And political correctness. Who was he contradicting? Some will say Peter, right? Some will say that because we know Peter was kind of a hot with the hands, right? Peter will cut you in a minute. And so some will say that Paul was basically saying that he was a better example than Peter because Peter was all violent, right? But I would go so far as to say that it is because he knew that righteous indignation would be the takedown of the kingdom of darkness. You can do nothing with righteous indignation. Righteous indignation is the thing that rose up in little small 15-year-old David that had him walk out and call the guy a dirty dick so-and-so, excuse me. But he's like, you uncircumcised Philistine, right? Like he was furious. He said, I'll have your head on a plate. How dare you insult Yah and his armies? He was 15, his blood boiled, right? And so he stepped out of all order, out of all everything, and was in the zone and picked up his little stones, kindly took that giant down, took his head off from his body with his own sword, and went on about his business. See, you could never do that if you were doing what Paul said to do. There are way too many protocols that are broken there. First of all, he's a child. He should have stayed in a child's place, okay? Second of all, what's he doing out on the field? Right? Out on the battlefield. He was just there to deliver lunch. Right? He's out there insulting the man, making personal insults. That's unnecessary and uncalled for, right? Making threats, talking smack, talking big smack. Okay? Look at all those broken protocols. Paul would die, okay? But I'm going to tell you who else was the breaker of all things protocol. Yeshua. Yeshua is the one who Paul was directly contradicting his behavior. It's a direct assault on Yah chosen getting real froggy with it. Because Yeshua and his peoples was like, guess what? Y'all do that over there. Way over there, right? And they weren't playing, and they were separating themselves, and they were like doing things like Yeshua was like, you bust up on an unclean scene, people are like robbing the people and defiling the temple, you tear the scene up, you run up in there and you start giving the people, you beat the robbers, you beat them, and you start giving their stuff out. You start giving it to the poor people that they done robbed. That type of thing. See, y'all not ready for that level of movement. But that's the type of time Yeshua and them was on. They were rabble rousers. And Paul comes along and tells everybody that that's not how we do things. And as long as people like you, Yeshua was like, I ain't worried about nobody liking me. I got things to do. They ain't got sense enough to like themselves. This was Yeshua. Paul's like, as long as men like you, you'll know that God loves you. And as long as people respect you and Just respect people that are in power, and that's good. You'll be good. And Yeshua's like, power? You want to see power? I'll show you power. You see that person washing that old lady's feet? That's power. And like, y'all have everything so topsy-turvy, but it's because of Paul's doctrine of respectability and political correctness. And the word says that he will almost fool the elect, right? He will almost fool the elect. And that means a lot of you are going to come out of that Paulian doctrine, and you are going to realize that what Yeshua taught, and even if you are not messianic and you don't have the revelation of the Christ and you don't have the mind of Christ, and that's fine, whatever, you are law-abiding, right? Yah will not despise you. I don't believe Yah will despise a law-abiding follower just because they don't have the revelation of the blood of Christ, right? Yah's not like spiteful, right? So even if you don't, like, still there's a lot of Paul in our understanding of culture in general. There's a lot of Paul in how you understand our whole community to have functioned. There's a lot of Paul in how you even think we function, and you got to get Paul out of there. You really cannot walk this next leg of the race, or you can't do it without the Apocrypha, guys. You have to read and really understand who and how Yah people were. For one thing, it's going to really help you recognize that it was us, because we're still us, and it's still us, and it's so us. Okay? But what they have done is they have removed the character of Yah from religion and spirituality. They've made Yah so impotent and benign so that man could become all powerful. And so you believe in the power of man, and you believe like Yah is this impotent little like thing. No truck. Yeah. It's alright. Take it easy and just, there's plenty to do around here. So you guys, whenever somebody's moving in power, you think that they must have gotten that power from the devil somewhere, because after all, God's people are these like little mealy mouths sitting around waiting to see what somebody's going to tell them to do. The leaders and authorities and like what? And you're so godly and nice, but you don't have the power to like do anything. You don't have any power. Because Paul taught you that was bad. Especially if you're a woman. Woo. Y'all know why they always trying to teach women not to move in power? Because that thing can't be faded when it gets loose. Everybody knows that thing can't be faded. And that's a whole other talk, ladies. Because y'all need to bring that thing in. Y'all need to bring that thing in too. Because you're deceiving these men with your feminine wiles. You're deceiving these men, and you have them thinking that you're good women because you soothe and seduce them, and you're not building up their character. And ask me how I know, because I have conversations with men all day, every day, and I just recently changed my profile picture on social media where it has my face, but for a very long time, for some years, I did not show my face, and so people assumed that I was a man all the time. And talking to men, I can tell that these men are not getting the work from you sisters. You are not building their character. You're not having the hard talks. You are not doing what Yah told us to do, which was to help them. You're not doing it. You're busy like ego stroking and all of this, and so you're polishing up the outsides of them, but the insides are rotten, and that's not fair. That's not fair. You cannot do that to Yah's men. You think Yah gonna let you do that to his men after all they've been through? That's not helpful. My little thing, I keep knocking my little down. These chairs are old, they're cute, but they're old, guys, and they're like super crusty because we had them down in like the kind of a den room where like everybody used to crash after work and play the game and wait and take turns for showers. So they're like super crusty, so that's why I keep trying to put my little cover up. But anyway, we're at 10 minutes. I hope that blessed somebody somewhere. And I don't know. Stay up. Y'all be glorified. Peace out.